وحبيبنا وشفيعنا وقرة أعيننا محمد النبي الأمي الأمين صلوات ربي وسلامه عليه وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين ومن دعا بدعوته واستنى بسنته واقتفى أثره إلى يوم الدين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Respected guests, elders, the royal father of the occasion, our hosts, it brings me great pleasure to be here again in the great country of Nigeria. While it's not geographically the heart of Africa, it is like the heart might not be within the center exactly. It's also Nigeria's just off the center. So this is why it is the heart of Africa. A vital, this guy gets it, as they say, right? A vital organ for this vital continent, its most populous nation, and perhaps more Muslims here in Nigeria than many countries in all of Africa put together, barring, of course, Egypt, from where I hail. The topic of the day, which is rebuilding of the Ummah, a topic which Sheikh Ahmed Dabbagh, my Sheikh, my guide, my murshid, will be sharing with yourselves, is one that many of us are desperate. So we were saying that the topic of the day, rebuilding the Ummah, could not come at a more pressing time, could not come at a more needed time. Let us explore the state of the world today. Because what people usually say is the Ummah has never had it worse. The state of the Muslim world has never been worse. This is what is claimed today. What is the state of the world today? The state of the world is that there are a handful of superpowers. When we say a handful, really 3. That's it. 3 superpowers. We have a return to international piracy, where one power can strip a nation of its resources. The complaint came in one of the questions during the press conference on our first night in Kano to Sheikh Ahmed Dabbagh. What do you say to the banditry which is happening and the theft which is happening? And so the Sheikh made a very profound point, and that is, there is banditry happening at a national level. We're complaining that somebody with a gun holds up a car and tells them to take off their watch, their phone, empty their pockets. But there is banditry happening at a national level where individuals are not robbed, but nations, entire country is stolen. And we are living this today and witnessing it with our own eyes, where might is right. And the one in power, he determines the rules and governs, regardless of whether it is correct or not. Today we have illiteracy levels, which are increasing, not decreasing. Today we have famine and hunger and starvation in nations where the top 1% enjoy 90% of the resources of a country. Today, we have wars. Nobody knows why they have begun. Today, look, a war breaking out in the Middle East during negotiations. In the middle of negotiations, one party attacks the other. It makes no sense. Nobody can pinpoint the origin. Today, we have families breaking up, youth who have lost their identity, and people are losing hope. And so we say, when we hear and we experience and we see this reality, that the Ummah has never been in a worse condition. But let me tell you another fact, counter to this, and that is, the Ummah was in a worse condition than the condition we are in now. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam came, what did he say? That Allah, inna Allah nazara ila ahli al-ardi famaqatahum arabahum wa ajamahum. When Allah observed, He looked at the people of the earth, He condemned them. The Arabs and the non-Arabs. إِلَّا بَقَايَا مِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ, except remnants from the people of the book. What was the condition of the world then? There were 2 or 3 major superpowers. Whole countries were usurped their resources. Today we see, still within our life, there is a post-colonial stripping of the resources of Africa. That this continent has been blessed with natural resources like no other continent. But the colonizers came and plundered the continent of its resources, and when they left, they kept contracts in place to continue to plunder and to strip this continent of its resources. So in the time of the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, an empire would enter and take everything. إِنَّ الْمُلُوكَ إِذَا دَخَلُوا قَرْيَةً أَفْسَدُوهَا وَجَعَلُوا أَعِزَّةَ أَهْلِهَا أَذِلَّةً. And Allah confirms this, وَكَذَلِكَ يَفْعَلُونَ. So this was the state before Islam. This was the state before the advent of Islam. Let's look at the Arabian Peninsula. In the Arabian Peninsula, we welcome our Sheikh. If the Sheikh can join us over here, inshallah. No. If we look at the Arabian Peninsula, today we complain, and yesterday a question was posed to the Sheikh regarding tribalism. What was Arabia blighted by? Blighted by tribalism. Blighted by nationalism. Even tribalism is less because the tribe is smaller than the nation. Tribes fighting each other, and fighting each other for what? For some land, for some honor, for some false prestige. Today, what is the main cause behind tribes, at least in this country anyway, fighting land for their livestock to graze in? It is really herders fighting, and because of that there is bloodshed. People in the tens, the scores of people being killed for goat. Yes, and this was the condition then. During the pre-Islamic period in the Arabian Peninsula, there was rampant alcoholism. It was glorified in poetry. There was rampant zina in Mecca. There were the tents with the red flags, signifying that there is a woman in here, she's open for business. In Mecca and in the Arabian Peninsula, there was rampant illiteracy, jahl, ignorance. In Mecca, the Kaaba itself was under occupation. Imagine this, that the Kaaba is surrounded and besieged by 360 idols. And even the Kaaba is, you could say, invaded as well, because they had put idols inside the Kaaba. So what a bleak picture. What a bleak picture. And let me paint an even more vivid image for you. We said the superpowers of the day, Persia, Byzantium, Rome. So these are the 3 major empires. When they saw land, what did their ambition, their imperialistic ambitions drive them towards? Enter the land, take the resources. So they fought with each other over what? Over the rights of others. They did not even fight over the Arabian Peninsula. it was worthless for them. Are you with me? You understand this point? That the Arabian Peninsula, no major empire occupied because it had such little value in their eyes. Its people had such little value. Now, what is one of the miracles of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? It's that he came, or was sent rather, by Allah Jalla Jalaluhu during the worst time in human history. It was the bleakness and the darkness that had enveloped the earth. This was unprecedented, and it will never be repeated to the same extent. And he came not just during the worst time, but he came to the worst people. A people who the empires overlooked as illiterate, naked, barefoot, Bedouins who are not worth even their time. He came to a people who were considered worthless. And what did he achieve, sallallahu alaihi wasallam? He made these people who were worthless globally into the greatest awliya who walked the earth. The greatest people to walk the earth after the prophets are the Sahaba. Today, we look at our own countries. I'm from Egypt originally, and I will visit, and I may be sometimes overwhelmed by the conditions that the people are living. How, I will say, how will the ummah restore its previous glory? And this is the question we're all asking, how? And when we don't receive the answer, we say it won't happen, it's impossible. Now the theme is rebuilding the ummah, implying that something was already built. So today, what Sheikh Ahmed Dabbagh will be teaching us, and this is not ilm in the traditional sense. This is a practical methodology. A practical methodology meaning that you can apply. This methodology is the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam's blueprint of how he built something. Because when we say rebuilding, it implies something was built already. Who built it? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And he built people, and he built a nation in such a manner and left a blueprint that in any other time, when this building, it's in disrepair, when it is derelict, when it has been neglected, you can go back to the manual and rebuild as it was built the first time. Even if you can see nothing but rubble, it can be rebuilt. Because the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam will never die until the day of judgment. Meaning the methodology of building the fard, the individual, this methodology never dies. Rebuilding a society, that methodology never dies. Rebuilding an ummah, that methodology never dies. So instead of resorting to my opinion, or this intellectual's opinion, or this academic's opinion, or they say mufakkir. What about the fikr of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? We go to intellectuals, yes? What about the intellect of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? So what the Sheikh Hafidhahullah will be sharing today is not something you don't know. But just like we know this auditorium, we know this lecture theatre is built by bricks form it. We may not know how to put the bricks together. So today is to tell us how to put these bricks together, how to put the pieces together, where we leave with clarity as to your individual role. Because what will be covered is not what is the role of my representative in parliament? What is the role of my political superiors? That's not what will be taught to you today. What will be taught to you is your individual role, which you will be accountable for on the Day of Judgment. Meaning, what you can achieve. You're not here today to go and tell other people you should achieve this. Today, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, Ku anfusakum. Protect yourself, meaning start with yourself. So this is what our Sheikh, Hafidhahullah ta'ala, will be sharing with us. And Sheikh Ahmed Dabbagh, it's very difficult to introduce somebody with many different credentials and many achievements. But these achievements, you could say, the work of the Sheikh is fivefold. First of all, to ensure the needs of people are met, meaning charity work, aid work. Anywhere where people, the needs of their body, food and drink and shelter and medicine, these are not met, then the Sheikh has founded the Dabbagh Welfare Trust. That's what it deals with. Meaning the qutul abdan, the food, the nourishment of the bodies, which is the right, it's a haqq of every human being. And also to provide for people a guidance. Once I have eaten, I start to think, what's my purpose? So once I have all of my needs met physically, I start to think about why I exist. Why do I even exist? And so Prophetic Path, which was founded by the Sheikh, also addresses this. It teaches people purpose of life. And not just that, but how to achieve your purpose in an efficient and in the prophetic manner and methodology as well. Also, because Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is khatamun nabiyyin, he's the final messenger, meaning there's no prophet after him. So the work of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam continues, which is ud'u, call ila sabili rabbik, call to the path of your Lord. So da'wah. So the Sheikh has formed the Seek to Change, which is a da'wah organization that gives da'wah to non-Muslims bil hikmati wal maw'idhati al-hasana, with wisdom. Meaning how you can, if you cannot win his mind, meaning he's convinced by Islam, at least you win his heart. He's convinced that you are a good Muslim. This is what he should be convinced by. And other organizations that deal with the youth. Nigeria, if you don't already know, has the youngest population in the world. Do you know what the average age of the Nigerian is? Who knows? Shout it out. 25. You're off by many years. The average age in Nigeria is 19. You have a human resource unparalleled globally, and that's your shabab, your youth. And so Sheikh Ahmed Dabbagh has youth projects. How to attract them? Because what do youth want to do? They have energy. They want to play. They want to do sports. They want to expend their energies. But how can I attract them to the masjid? How can I attract them to Rasulullah and to Allah Jalla Jalaluhu? So the Sheikh also has an organization which deals specifically with youth. And also our mothers, the women who will become, they are truly the real home. If you want to know the home, the incubation, the incubator of the ummah, it is the home. And the home is operated by the mother. And so there is a women's organization that the Sheikh has also founded, which deals specifically with women, their needs, their challenges, and how they can overcome and succeed and become like Ummuna Khadija and Ummuna Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anhuma. And people are in politics. There are people in business. They don't have much time. They'll do Jumu'ah, but they don't have time to listen to lectures or to come here. I know they don't. So what do you do for busy people? successful people, people who are in the financial world, the corporate world. So the Sheikh has formed also the Wise Life Academy, which is an organization that targets these, you could say, Muslim elites. Where they are, we go to teach them. If they are in a boardroom, we go to the boardroom. If they are in their offices, we go to their offices to teach them how you can become the best version of yourself and to become the true Khalifa of Allah while you are in your nice car, nice home, and in your good position. I won't say any more because by now everybody should be on the edges of their seat to learn the how. We all know what. What is the problem? We've identified it. But knowing the problem is only half of the solution. We need to know now the practical methodology of how to establish, how to rebuild ourselves individually, and how to rebuild this great ummah which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam built and left with us a methodology. And so it brings me great privilege and honor and joy to welcome Sheikh Ahmed Dabbagh, inshallah, to the stage. فَلْيَتَفَضَّلْ مَشْكُورًا.